am a man of science, not society. Now go study my brilliance. Go!
If you enjoy science and great storytelling, we've got you covered.
To science!
To science!
This is the Relativity series from LA TheaterWorks and the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
I'm Susan Loewenberg. In the win-at-all-cost culture of pro sports, concussions used to be something athletes would shrug off to show how tough they were. But all those hits took a toll on their bodies and their brains. In the wake of increasing concern over brain trauma in professional athletes, playwright Patrick Link wrote Headstrong, a story about a retired NFL linebacker who must deal with a family tragedy and his own suffering because of the violence of his beloved sport. And now, LA TheaterWorks presents Headstrong by Patrick Link, starring Ernie Hudson, Deidrie Henry, Scott Wolf, and Ntare Guma Mbaho Mwine.
But at the end of the day, a win's a win. Stats up for baseball. Football is about winning.
But you can't say that Marino
Don't even start with Marino.
The numbers don't lie.
You want a number? 0. That's how many rings that guy has. Promise you, that's the only number he thinks about.
Have you met him?
Met him? I've sacked him.
Well, fair enough.
Sacked Montana, too. Good guys. Just saw Joe at a dinner about 6 months ago. You get to know everyone.
Yeah, I bet.
Elway was there, too, along with both his rings. You see Elway at these dinners talking, gesticulating with his hands so everyone can see his rings. Meanwhile, Marino is in the corner, hands in his pockets, because he's got nothing to show. They make him sit at the kids' table. Tough crowd. The stories I could tell. If I had more time, I'd tell you about New Year's at O.J. Simpson's house.
Are you new O.J.?
Not too well. But he had this New Year's party every year. Ah, Jesus. Once I got married, I had to stop going, if you understand me. It was that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A lot of that going on back then. A different time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You married?
No.
Then you would have enjoyed yourself. Maybe a couple of times.
That's Super Bowl 15.
Oh, yeah.
These are great photos.
It's my wall of fame.
Eagles versus Raiders, 1981. I've seen replays of this game.
Me too. Painful though it is.
You got Dick Vermeil on there.
Coach, yeah.
Legend. Great team. Campfield, Carmichael, Herm Edwards, Ron Jaworski.
Jaws.
Even, what's his name? The guy from the Invincible movie. Vince Papale.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fucking walk-on. I never talked to walk-ons.
How long did you play?
14 years. 72 to 86. All with the Eagles. I stayed loyal. Oh, look at me. I was a professional athlete 100%. Hard to believe. Now I can barely run a mile.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Did you play?
In college, yes.
Where at?
Dartmouth.
They tackle there?
They do.
What position?
Defensive end.
Uh-huh.
What?
Nothing. You have film?
What? No, not on me.
I love watching film. That's what I'm working on now. I got all these tapes from my playing days. Trying to post them on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Here, take a look. I just got the first one queued up. Now, this is me sacking Archie Manning. I'm reading the offense, tell Jones to watch 33, and look, he's rolling left, and boom! He don't want to go left. Look, no flag. Just wrap him up. See how my head crosses path?
That's textbook, just like they teach you.
I'm going to post a whole series of these. Theismann, Sims, all of them. The art of the sack.
Nice.
I was 225 and benched 300. Where does it all go?
Tell me about it. I used to bench around the same.
In college?
After.
After?
I wrestled for a few years.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Like Greco-Roman?
No, like the kind you watch on TV.
Like Hulk Hogan?
More like the farm team equivalent. Highly competitive, though. We beat the hell out of each other.
Isn't it all fake?
Let's put it this way. The concussions are real.
You want any food?
I'm good, thanks.
I might have some.
Please, go for it. Don't feel like you have to entertain me.
Sylvia should be here soon. I'm not sure where she is. She doesn't tell me things anymore. So, if you can get her to talk, it'll be more than I can do.
I just want to express my condolences. Have a moment to talk to her.
Good luck. Condolences aren't always easy to express, especially with my daughter. She hasn't taken it well.
It's a hard thing to take.
There's pictures over there.
He's not on the Wall of Fame?
Ronnie was my son-in-law. His picture goes in a different place.
He was a hell of a running back. I remember whenever he scored a touchdown, he would just hand the ball to the ref. Didn't spike it, didn't dance. A true professional.
Probably didn't occur to him to do anything else. He was simple sometimes, like Forrest Gump. I'm not kidding. Ronnie was good at football, so good he didn't have to be good at anything else until he left the game. And he had to go out there and live. And he couldn't. So he didn't.
It's an awful story.
It's a damn mess is what it is. You know, I identified the body. When they found him in Cincinnati, we drove over there. Sylvia was going in to ID him. Couldn't.
Why not?
Too squeamish. Can't handle death. But I can. I saw Ronnie on the slab, naked and sterile, flabby and weak. Coward's way out. Antifreeze. Leave it to us to pick up the pieces.
Did you have much contact with him towards the end?
No. They weren't together, you know.
Yeah, I heard.
That's the bitch of it all. They were done. They had split. But he never signed the damn divorce papers, forcing her to deal with all this shit.
Do you know why they split?
Money. Ronnie made good money when he played, and he pissed it away faster than you can imagine.
Easy to do, I guess.
Not like this. They had money set aside for Charlie's college. He dipped in and started spending it on internet scams, painkillers, and whatever else.
Oh, that's awful.
Can't have a marriage when there's no trust. So she left, and I was glad to hear it. Like I told Sylvia when she first brought him home, the thing about running backs is that they're always trying to slip away. And I give him that. He was good at running away.
So Sylvia's lived here since they separated?
Yeah, about. My wife was sick. Cancer. That's when Sylvia moved back. Wife died. Daughter stayed.
I'm sorry.
3 years ago. I think she likes it. I wake to dishes being done in the morning. It's nice. I just got her a pair of shoes. No reason, just because. Help her stand a little taller. One thing I learned is that women love shoes.
I'll keep that in mind.
You should. It'll help you. God knows it's helped me. If you do get her to talk.
Yes?
Never mind. No, forget I said that.
I got groceries. No marshmallows this time. Oh, sorry, Dad. I didn't realize you had company.
Actually, you have company.
Hi, I'm Nick Merritt from the Sports Life Foundation.
Oh,
I left you some messages.
right.
I was hoping we could talk.
Where's Charlie?
Sleepover. 1 sec.
Why did she get groceries again? I offered to do it. She won't let me. Like the world would end if I had to pick out cereal. Pretty, isn't she?
Beautiful.
See? Who could ever be good enough for her? Nobody deserves her.
Do you?
Not even close.
Nick, is it?
Yes, Nick Merritt.
And how can I help you?
5 minutes is all I need.
He went to Dartmouth.
Oh, wow. Then please come right in.
Pardon me, Nick. I need to excuse myself. Too many men on the field.
It was great meeting you.
Oh, I'll be back.
Look, I'm really not interested in speaking with anyone right now.
I know. I'm very sorry to barge in like this.
Yeah?
I left several messages for you and I didn't hear back.
Why might that be?
But it's important that I speak with you.
So you came to my house?
Again, I don't mean to disturb you. I just wanted to tell you how sorry I am about all of these recent events.
Look, tell your editor or your news clerk, your blog master, whatever you have, tell them I have nothing to say. So there's really no need to call or email, and there's certainly no need to come inside my house. I don't want any stories. I don't want any headlines. I just want privacy.
And I totally respect that.
And yet here you are.
I brought scotch. Would you like some? Your dad had some.
I'm sure he did.
He's very funny.
Really? What did he say? New Year's at O.J. Simpson's house?
You know about that?
All of Philadelphia knows about that. He'll tell anyone.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious until it's sad, which isn't very long, and neither was my marriage to a guy named Ronnie Green. We were married, he played football, then he stopped playing football, then we stopped being married, and then a couple of years went by and then he died. Is it awful? Yes. And there's really nothing else to say.
Listen.
No can do. Thanks for the scotch. I need it, but not now and not with you. It's not a good time.
Technically, you are still his wife. He never signed the divorce papers.
So what?
Legally, that matters.
I signed them. Were we married on paper? Are you married when you live in different states and never talk and date other people? So I could really give a damn about what he did with those papers. I could also give a damn about making the papers, so if you don't mind, please
Again, I'm not a journalist.
I don't care.
We're a research organization that studies athletes at all stages of their lives, and when a notable athlete passes away, we like to follow up.
Well, thanks for the follow-up, but when I didn't return your calls, that wasn't an invitation for a house visit. Especially not 2 weeks after his death. Ronnie's dead, and there's nothing I can do.
Aren't you curious about what happened?
The book is closed.
You really feel that way?
I feel guilty. And I feel relieved. And I feel guilty for feeling relieved. But you know what I don't feel? Curious. I spent too many years trying to figure out what was going on in that man's head, and look where it's gotten me.
I understand.
Alcohol is a hell of a drug. That's what happened to him. He got drunk. He got depressed. He needed to drink more. He drank something he shouldn't have. That's the story.
Do you know about Mike Webster?
Who?
Mike Webster was an NFL center who died at 50 and had a brain that functioned as if he was 90. Do you know about Terry Long? He was an offensive lineman who ended his life at 45 after losing his life savings and most of his dignity. And then there's Andre Waters, who took his life at 44 when depression and headaches made life unbearable. We've studied them, linking their deaths to football.
Concussions, right? They all had concussions?
Many, many, many.
And you think Ronnie belongs in that company?
What these men have taught us has changed the league. It's safer now. No helmet-to-helmet hits. No going back in the game if you've sustained a concussion. And it will continue to grow safer as we learn more. And most importantly, now the families know.
Know what?
That it wasn't their fault. Concussions they sustained while playing football led to dementia, which led to depression, which sadly led to suicide. All of these men experienced profound confusion, issues with impulse control, and impaired judgment. And I'm not saying it happens to everyone, and I'm not saying that's what happened to Ronnie. But I'm saying it's possible. And I'd like to know exactly how possible.
Are you a doctor?
No, but I work with a neuropathologist, Dr. Moses Odame. He's one of the country's leading experts.
His name is Moses?
Yes, he's very wise.
Well, I hate to disappoint you and Dr. Moses, but Ronnie's not like those other men.
Why do you think that?
He's younger, first of all, and, well, check his history.
We did.
So you would know he never had any concussions.
That's why I'm here. We used to think that it was just concussions, just the big hits that caused damage. But that's no longer the case.
What is the case?
It might be every hit. Repetitive hits. Play after play, day after day, year after year. Do the math. If you get hit in the head 1,000 times a year over a 10-year career, how could that not cause problems?
Ronnie only played 6 years.
But he played 4 years of college before that. 4 years of high school before that. It's cumulative. The brain floats loose in your head. Nothing holds it in its place. So it's not just the big hits that cause your brain to smack against the side of your skull. Even sprinting and suddenly stopping can cause an impact, and if you do that enough times, you'll cause damage. It's not just concussions.
It's football. That's what you're saying.
How's your son handling all of this?
How do you think?
It's tough. Believe me, I know. When my dad died, my mom didn't tell me. For 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
6.
Yeah. Charlie is 5.
How did you tell him?
It's complicated. He hardly knew Ronnie anyway, so I don't know.
I guess the question is, what will he know about him?
That's not your concern.
No, it's not. But it's something I can help with.
Okay.
Okay?
So what do you need from me?
I need permission to obtain and study your husband's brain. They're conducting an autopsy in Ohio. When they're done, I'd like his brain to be shipped to Boston for Dr. Odame to study. We can coordinate with the mortuary and make all of the arrangements, but I do need your permission. I know it's soon after his death, But unfortunately, we can't wait. The tissue won't last. That's why I had to come here when you wouldn't return my calls.
Dr. Moses wants to look at Ronnie's brain?
That's exactly right. So you see why I couldn't just say this over voicemail. I have the paperwork here. All I need is for you to sign this consent form. The professionals will know what to do.
If there was damage, wouldn't they be able to tell immediately? I mean, during the autopsy or earlier, an MRI.
Well, that's what makes this so difficult. Dr. Odame noticed long ago that even when the brain is first removed from the body, in its mushy state, it appears totally normal, even if it is in fact damaged. The brain tissue needs to harden in formalin first. We then analyze small sections of tissue on slides and check for abnormal tau proteins.
And you've seen others like him? With symptoms of, what do you call it?
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE.
So you've seen people with symptoms of CTE and no concussions?
We're starting to. Ronnie's relatively young age makes him especially unique.
Well, running backs don't last long.
No, they don't. Did you have much communication with him toward the end?
No.
Where he went? What he did?
No. He called me once. Well, maybe 4 months ago, which is weird because he never called. And at first he sounded very clear. Asked me how I am. I said, fine. I asked how he was. I'm lost, he said. And I asked where he was, and he said he didn't know. That's why he was lost. And I asked him what was around him, and he said he didn't know. And I said, well, how could you not know? Just look around and tell me what you see. And I'll never forget, he said, all I see are trees. And I asked if he was in the woods or on a hike, and he just said it again. All I see are trees. Can you hear them? But I couldn't hear anything, and I couldn't think of any place he could be where he'd be surrounded by trees blowing in the wind. That was the last time I spoke to him. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. But I'd like to. I think you'd like to. And from personal experience, if you don't mind my saying, I think your son would like to. So I need you to sign. Does Charlie want to play football?
All the kids wanted to play football, didn't you?
You have no idea.
Marina's calling for you from Cityscape.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to take this.
Okay.
It'll just... Excuse me 1 second. Marina. Yes, no. It's a fine time to call.
How goes? Dartmouth?
It goes well.
There's some steak in the kitchen. I love me some steak. You like steak?
I do.
Yeah. I can see that you do. Remind me, do the latest studies report that red meat is good for you or bad for you? Exactly. Who can keep track? They keep flip-flopping back and forth. Same with eggs and milk and wine. Such a narrow line between what's good for us and what kills us. Don't you think?
Maybe that's why Sylvia does your grocery shopping.
My house is wonderful acoustics. Acoustics so wonderful that if you stand right by the linen closet, you can hear nearly everything that goes on, from Grace washing dishes to Sylvia and Ronnie naked in a room, or some suit from Dartmouth talking about, what's the right word? Donations. Well, I couldn't help but overhear. So naturally, I couldn't help but look you up.
I said who I was.
But I couldn't quite figure it out exactly until I saw your website and these little clips of you on ESPN talking about trauma and head injuries and all that.
So?
How's it feel?
How's what feel?
To ruin the game of football.
That's not what I'm doing.
How so? It's the game itself that's the problem.
I said...
The game is the problem. That's what I heard. So, what will happen to the game, if you had to guess?
My hope is that it will become safer. As we learn more about what various hits are doing to the players, we can make it safer.
You know, if the defense even lays a finger on Tom Brady, it's a flag and 15 yards now. He might as well be in the Pope Mobile. What's the point of having defenders if they can't defend?
They can still defend.
That's not what I call defense. Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees are passing for 5,000 yards because nobody is allowed to hit the bastards. So leave them alone. Let them play.
I want to let them play.
No, you want to make them safe. But by trying to make them safe, you're going to fuck the whole thing up. I promise you.
I don't think that's true.
Take away hitting from football, and you know what you get? Checkers. Hitting is part of the game. Can't take it away. Take away hits to the head, guys will go for the knees. These men have jobs, and their jobs are to hit.
Nobody's saying we should get rid of hitting.
So, what does that mean? Soft hits? Two-hand touch?
We just need to analyze what those hits are doing, both in the short term and the long term.
You could twist an ankle playing hopscotch. You could lose an eye playing jacks.
You can't get hit 10,000 times in the head and expect to live a proper life.
Can't? Did. According to you, I should be a vegetable. But I'm as sharp as cheddar, baby.
Not everyone who smokes is going to get lung cancer, but that doesn't mean smoking doesn't give you lung cancer. People should know their risks, whether it's buying a pack of Marlboros or putting on a helmet and shoulder pads. And we should diminish these risks so we don't keep shepherding generations of brain-dead men who die too young.
Is there a cat loose? 'Cause somewhere in this room there's a pussy screaming. You don't climb Mount Everest because it's safe. You don't drive NASCAR to be safe. Even, what's it called? The fucking luge in the Olympics. You think that's safe? It's all danger. That's what makes it sport. As opposed to a game by Parker Brothers or Fisher-Price.
I understand what sport is.
I don't think you do. Yes, you could hurt your head, among other things. You could also be paralyzed in an instant. You could break your neck or your spine. But you could also do that while driving a car.
All I'm saying is that if there's danger, people should know. Isn't that fair? If there's a major risk, people should know so that they can decide.
You think they said that to Beowulf?
What?
You think they said that to Beowulf when he went off to fight Grendel?
That's fiction.
It's legend. He wasn't worried about risk or danger, even though he damn well knew it was dangerous. He was after a monster because he was a hero.
But again, that's a story.
It's an epic poem, actually. But it's more than that. It's culture. Now, we don't have Beowulf anymore, but we have Walter Payton. Do you see my point? We have Montana. We have Elway. We have LT. Our culture's heroes are on the football field, and that's good. But we need to allow them to be heroic. So danger is a must. Action is a must. Or we won't have heroes no more.
But Beowulf knew the risk. He knew there was a monster. He wasn't going out to play a game, not knowing there was a monster hiding.
What the fuck does that mean?
Too few players know there's a monster out there. And that monster could be growing with every single hit.
Don't you twist my fucking metaphor.
I'm just trying to speak in your terms.
My terms.
5 years of football for 30 years of dementia? That's not a fair trade. I just want guys like us to know their options.
I'm sorry. Did you say guys like us?
Yes, guys like us.
Because I didn't know we were similar.
I'm just trying...
Because only one of us in this room has actually played the game we're talking about, as you can see from my wall.
That doesn't matter.
I think it might.
With respect, you're talking about a game, and I'm talking about life.
And you're acting like those are two different things when they aren't. You play to win the game.
Right, but there are consequences to winning.
How would you know?
Pardon?
I'm just asking. What do you know about winning?
I don't think you want to go there.
I'm already there.
I have some experience.
Really?
In high school and college. Look, I've won plenty, but I really don't want this to be about me.
I can tell. I don't know how they play at Dartmouth or the American Boys Choir, but I know when the Eagles play football, we play hard.
I was an academic All-American.
You were an academic All-American, and then what? Then nothing. No draft, no prospects. I'm just asking why you became a white trash carnival act.
You've never seen me play. You didn't see
But
me.
I can't see you now, boy. I can see you now. You're soft, like sourdough. Guys like us. No, guys like me are fine. It's boys like you who maybe need some help. Who should take up French horn, pursue other passions.
There are players, NFL players, currently filing lawsuits against the NFL and against colleges for not warning them of the risks they were up against. Don't take my word for it. You should talk to them.
Well, I can't talk to them because I don't speak bitch. Maybe you can talk to them.
I have.
Huh, I bet you have. Because you're not a doctor, right? You're not a doctor. And you're not a player. You're just, well, what are you? A brain broker who doesn't know squat about winning.
Well, I know this about winning. That Super Bowl you were in, you lost it.
Huh, play that card.
I'm just saying.
At least I played. At least I was there.
You wouldn't know it from the score.
Better watch what you say next.
There's no need to get personal.
She's my daughter. He was my son-in-law. This was my career. Don't talk about what is or isn't personal.
Dad, what are you doing?
I'm talking. What's it look like I'm doing?
Dad, let me handle this.
It's okay, sweetheart. Just talking sports. Or are we done talking? Nick, are we done?
Sylvia.
Sylvia can't help you. Can you, Sylvia?
I can speak for myself.
Then do it.
I really appreciate you making the trip out here. I know it's a long way, but I think Ronnie would want to be remembered for how he lived, not how he died.
Damn straight.
He was a strong man. I want him remembered that way. We're going to have to leave it at that.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Really? Because you seemed like you wanted to help a few minutes ago.
No means no.
I want you to think about this.
I don't want people to pity him. No man wants pity. I need to protect him. I don't owe him much, but I owe him that.
I think I know where he made that phone call when he was lost.
How do you know that?
Because I've spoken to people who knew him during his final months. He was on a payphone at a Kroger in downtown Cincinnati. His friends were mostly drunks and local homeless that hung around there. He was there every day until he urinated in the middle of the store, and his friends beat the hell out of him and banished him. He didn't know where he was. He thought he was in a restroom. He was found dead 3 days later with a bottle of antifreeze by his side.
Why are you telling me this?
That's what happened to someone you loved. That's what happened to the father of your child. And if you're okay with that, then you're okay with that. I'm going to leave my card. It has my phone number, email, and fax. The form is here if you wish to sign it. Just fax it in.
Did you say fax?
Yes.
Huh. Fax.
We need a response by the end of the weekend. After that, it'll be too late.
I can't do it.
Think about it.
I have, and I don't want Charlie to hear about what his father may have done at some Kroger in Cincinnati. And if I sign, we will never hear the end of it. I want Charlie to know his father was a man who lived his life doing what he loved. I think that's enough.
And there's more to him than that.
Ugh, do we have to know everything about each other?
End of the weekend. You have my info.
I'll tell you why you weren't drafted, Nick. The first thing a scout looks for in a prospect isn't size, speed, or strength. It's a player's eyes. And when I look at yours, you just look scared. And no roster has room for those who look scared.
It was an honor meeting you. Those are great pictures on your wall. I admire them very much.
Douchebag.
Jesus, Dad.
What?
I could have dealt with that myself.
You needed backup.
I didn't.
Don't like people coming to my home acting like they're better than me. Like they need to educate me. He needs an education on the field.
He's just trying to help.
I don't like getting help I didn't ask for. Ronnie didn't either.
Oh, please, you never liked Ronnie.
That's not true.
You never gave him a chance.
I gave him plenty, but he was young. Then by the time he wasn't young, he was gone. What could I do?
You realize I actually loved him? It wasn't a crush, it was love.
I wish I knew why.
And I wish I didn't have to explain it. Why does anyone love anyone?
He was quiet.
Only around you. You didn't know him.
Whose fault is that?
Who do you think? You're not exactly easy to open up to. He thought the world of you, and you wouldn't even put his picture up on your stupid wall.
The wall is not stupid.
Neither was he.
I can't love somebody just because you do. But I can respect your choice. What difference does it make if I love him?
It makes a difference.
Hard to love somebody who is taking you away from me.
Well, we're together now, aren't we?
Yeah?
So I guess everything worked out just fine then. I'm moving out. I wasn't with Lauren and Sophia tonight. I was with a broker. I found a place. I was late because I put in an application. I'm going to get approved, and I'm going to take it.
Marina from Cityscapes.
She was supposed to call my cell.
Where?
Downtown.
When?
1st of the month.
That seems soon.
It is.
You bought a place?
Rent with an option.
Rent? Why don't you just throw your money out on the highway? You're renting?
Dad,
why don't you go live in a hotel? At least you get free breakfast. You get no return on renting.
I get out. And that's what I need.
But renting, it's just so temporary.
This was temporary. I have a kid. I have a life. It's not that I don't like it here.
What were you going to tell me? Or were you just going to let Marina from Cityscapes tell me?
I don't know. When I was approved, I didn't mean for it to be like this. We both know it has to happen.
No time like the present.
Don't be mad.
Hey, I don't mind having a place to myself.
Well, I thought
Thought what?
if I left, I could hire someone to stay here.
Why?
You know, to help.
What did I just say about help I didn't ask for?
There's nothing wrong with a little help.
Help with what?
Never mind.
It's not one of these new buildings, is it?
Don't worry about it.
High winds will knock them down. New construction is flimsy.
I think it'll be okay.
What will you do when somebody like Nick Merritt comes asking for you?
I won't let him in. Why did you even let him in?
I thought it'd be good for you to talk to somebody. I thought it could help. I used to get visitors like that. Old fans that just want to talk.
I know.
You're not going to donate to him, are you?
No. I already said.
Listen, he's trying to take advantage of you. Trying to exploit your emotions. He's just looking to get famous. Nothing in it for you.
Not everything is about return.
He's not family. He's got no business with us. Let Ronnie rest.
I am. I have no intention of doing anything.
I feel strongly about this.
So do I.
I hope you do. You know what it means to me. Promise me.
Dad.
I just need a promise.
Dad, am I 12? I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to do it. There's nothing I would gain by doing it. I know all I want to know. It's time to move on, and now I am done thinking about it.
Good.
How's your YouTube project?
Getting there.
Let me know if you need help.
There's some steak in the kitchen.
I don't eat meat.
Some potato salad, too.
Good thing I got groceries.
Also, a present for you. Just because.
Daddy.
It's under the desk.
Oh, you are too sweet.
I know.
Shoes?
Saw them and thought of you. Got heels on them. See? Help you stand a little taller. What? You don't like them?
No, I do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very... You just saw these and got them for me.
I did. See what you're giving up by leaving?
They're nice shoes.
You're a nice daughter.
Thank you, Daddy.
Boy, the first one White has had in 5 years. The pass is picked off. Duncan Troy. He cuts to the inside. Danny White's trying to angle him off it. He's going to go. It's a touchdown for Troy. Eagles win.
Fucking hate Philadelphia. I also hate flying. Sorry I'm late. How are things here?
They're going
How many people are still here?
20, 30, hard to tell. Some of the older women have broken off and are flirting with the caterers.
Is Frank Ziegler still here?
Yes, and the webs and the checkbooks. I needed you. Frank was looking for you, then he had me cornered.
Yikes.
You know what that's like when he gets up close to you.
Yeah.
I can't talk to people like that. More need people. It's a special talent that you have.
You just smile and nod, give the occasional chuckle.
Never in my life have I ever chuckled.
Did you tell them my flight was delayed?
Yes. You need to take over the mingling out there. I need to get home. My nephew is still staying with us, little devil. Can't wait for his father to get back. I have 2 more days with him.
That sounds awful.
Oh, you have no idea. I leave this child alone for a few hours yesterday, and what do he and his friends do? They start wrestling over football cards. I find them beating the devil out of each other in the backyard, and I break it up. I say, "These friends home," and I explain that I'll have to take away his football cards. Well, he claims, "I cannot do that." I say, "I can do that. You better believe I can do that." And he says, "You are not my father." And I say, "No, I am not. I am not your father. I am your uncle, and my power is great. Fear me." I tell him to stop with the cards, the wrestling, and such silliness, that he is too old for such things, that in order to become a man, he must move on. And not only is that my opinion, I say, but I have it in Scripture, and I quote him 1 Corinthians 13:11. "When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things."
How old is he?
He's 12.
12? Jesus.
When I was 12, I could do calculus. Do you know why? Because I was not on the internet. I was not on Twitter. And I was certainly not spending my mother's money on sports cards. "Put away your childish things," I tell him. We got rid of them.
Well, that's a little rough, don't you think?
He does not know rough. You should see him eat. He eats all the time. He knows no discipline, hence the need for the uncle. These football cards, he should not collect such things, because collecting leads to playing, and I do not want him playing football. I've seen too much. Come on, you need to get out there, put something on.
I didn't get it.
Ronnie Green?
I didn't get it.
Why not?
Well, if I knew that, I'd have it.
I don't understand.
They said no. The family, they have a right to say no.
Who says no?
They do. They said it many times. No, we can't help. No, we don't want to. Go fuck yourself.
But I already told Frank that you are finalizing consent for the study of Ronnie Green's brain.
Why would you tell him that?
Because I thought it was true. That's what I thought you were doing.
Great.
Correction. That's what you are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I know.
Because you said he was a sure thing.
I was wrong.
I paid for your plane ticket because you said it was a sure thing.
The foundation paid for it.
Who do you think that is?
What are we going to say?
You tell me, Nick. I don't understand how you didn't get him.
I asked. They said no. What don't you understand? They don't want to know.
I don't believe that.
Well, if there's one thing I learned this weekend, it's I can't tell people what to believe. I can only give them facts.
Facts. These are the facts. There is a brain that's fit for study, a brain of a player with extraordinary and unique CTE symptoms. Is it relevant? Yes. Is it available? Yes. Are we going to study it? No, because you couldn't get it to us. You couldn't complete your simple task.
Don't lecture me.
What did you say to them?
Say to them nothing. Same thing I always say. This is their life, Mo. I'm sorry.
Well, as long as you're sorry. Damn. Who else is there? Who else can we ask? Who else is there?
Other donor candidates who have died?
Yes.
Altogether?
Yes.
None. We don't have anyone else.
I thought you had a list.
Ronnie was the list.
So at the moment we have...
At the moment, we don't have anything.
I think I ate that cake too fast.
We have players who have committed their brains to us once they die, but they're all still alive, unfortunately, and there haven't been any recent deaths of anyone with CTE symptoms. They're not dropping like flies, which I like to think is a good thing.
Just Ronnie.
Right.
He would have been perfect. 35. That's so young.
Don't look so glad.
Do I look glad to you, Nick? We're holding a fundraiser out there so that we can perform these studies, but we don't have any brains to study. So why should they give us money?
Well, maybe they shouldn't.
Maybe they won't.
Maybe not.
Maybe you need to go back.
No.
Yes. You are going back. Don't even bother unpacking.
No way in hell.
Send them flowers, send them a ham and a box of wine. You get them to sign.
They won't.
Why not? I thought you were the one with the personal touch. Athlete to athlete. That's how we do it. We send one of their own so you can appeal to them and earn their trust.
Yeah, about that.
What?
I don't know about that. Athlete to athlete.
What's the problem?
You know that I only played in high school and college, right?
And you wrestled professionally.
But that was more entertainment-based. For actual athletics, it was just high school and college football. So? Ronnie Green was in the 2003 Pro Bowl. His father-in-law, Duncan Troy, was in the frickin' Super Bowl. Do you know Dan Marino? Duncan Troy sacked Dan Marino. He sacked John Elway. He sacked Montana. He sacked the best of the best. The last guy I sacked is now a dentist. Do you see the difference?
Who cares?
They care. I played in college. They played in the NFL. I know you don't know the difference, but they do. And every time they look at me, they see that difference. And they always will, because they know that they got drafted and I didn't. So what business do I have with them? To them, I'm just some dude from Dartmouth trying to exploit their loss. I don't like it, and they didn't like me.
Exploit their loss?
That's what they thought I was doing.
My God.
Yes.
Now I see what went wrong.
Yes.
You didn't tell them, did you?
Tell them what?
About your head.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because
that's the personal touch.
It didn't come up. It wasn't relevant.
Wasn't relevant? You had 9 concussions in 3 years, wrestling. You got hit over the head with metal chairs on a near nightly basis until the noise in your head grew to such a volume that you had to stop at age 27. That's the personal touch. That's the pitch. That's why you are here.
Hey, I know.
So, why wouldn't you tell them about your head?
I don't know.
Because you're ashamed?
I'm not proud. Not when I'm talking to a 14-year NFL vet and the widow of a Pro Bowler. You're supposed to be tough. You're just supposed to take it.
Are you serious right now? You're just supposed to take it? Where have you been? That's the attitude we are trying to change.
Well, good luck. Good luck trying to change that, because yes, I've had the concussions, and yes, I've had the headaches, and yes, I've heard the ringing in my head. I haven't read about it. I've experienced it firsthand, and I still feel like somehow it was my fault that I got injured because I wasn't strong enough. And I know that's got no scientific basis, and I know I shouldn't, but that's what it feels like when you're the one who gets hurt while others win titles. Which makes this whole mission just feel like sour grapes. I know that doesn't make sense to you, but you'd have to play to understand.
I really don't want to go back to teaching.
You won't have to.
I will. They own me. I can't justify being here if there's nothing to study. They've been on my case enough as is.
Well, at least it's sunny back at UC Davis.
It doesn't matter. I never go outside. You know that nearly every year there's some student at Davis who dies of alcohol poisoning? Some freshman frat boy trying to make a name for himself. He enters some competitive environment, wants to establish himself, so he drinks all he can possibly consume with little regard for medical research or scientific fact.
Well, that happens at every college.
I know, but why? Because they think you are just supposed to take it.
That's not the same thing. Football is different. You just can't understand the difference because they don't have it where you're from.
I'm glad they don't. When people ask how I found the link between concussions and dementia and depression, I say it's because I'm the only one who didn't have some allegiance to the game of football. The facts are clear. I've seen their brains. I've seen the abnormal proteins. These are facts. I see what I see.
And you see no safe way to play football.
I do, only here it's called soccer. Why don't people play it? It's a fun game.
We play it, just nobody cares about it.
But why? Why is soccer so unpopular here? Why must it be football?
You think heading a soccer ball is much better for you?
Oh, don't go there.
Well, you see my point?
They aren't heading the ball on every play. Totally different apples and oranges.
But if somebody wanted to take away heading from soccer, you'd be upset. So what are we doing, Mo? What are we changing? The people we need to reach, we're not going to reach. They're paid too well. They're taught too well. Even I spend half my time thinking about how I still wish I was drafted, even after knowing the risks. So what are we going to change? We're wasting our time trying to change a game everyone loves. Why are you smiling?
You need to talk to Frank Ziegler.
Yeah.
No, I mean you need to talk to him.
Why?
He's on the board of trustees of the Lorenzo School, a private boarding school outside of Lexington.
Yeah, I know what it is.
He's going before the board to vote for the school to abolish its football program because the parents want him to. Because they don't want their kids playing because of our work.
Are you serious?
Ask him. The parents don't want a football program anymore if it's going to pose such a risk. They're too worried. Follow the money.
That's total bullshit.
It's just a proposal.
From somebody who's never played?
I don't know if Frank played or not.
He's 5'3", chubby, and Jewish.
So, no?
No.
If you're in high school, your brain is still developing. It's only at 95% of its adult size. That final 5% is critical.
I know.
Parents have a reason to be concerned. They'll vote. They'll decide. Maybe it won't happen, but it's a conversation that shows progress, that shows this work is successful.
That's not what I call success. That sucks for those kids. That totally sucks.
I'm okay with it.
I don't know if I am.
That's your choice.
I don't know if I'm the guy for this.
Well, you're the only guy I got.
Ronnie's wife didn't give consent because she doesn't want him to be our poster boy, and she's right. Her husband did what he did best. Who am I to tell him different? Because at the end of the day, there's more to life than staying alive. You have to live for something.
You weren't living much when I met you, Nick, 4 years ago. You could hardly get out of bed. You'll never be in the NFL and you'll never wrestle again, but you can be unemployed again, or you can do this. And if you do, it might make a difference. And if you do that, you'll be living for more than most people. I need to go home to my nephew. Put a tie on and talk to Frank before he leaves. Don't mention Ronnie Green. And make sure Janet tips the catering company. Apparently it's not enough to pay them, but we also have to tip them. I'll see you Monday, right, Nick? I'll see you Monday.
Can't believe you made your nephew get rid of his football cards. That's criminal.
If you want them, they're in the trash.
Here?
Yes, over there.
Dude!
You shouldn't be ashamed of your injuries. Maybe you're not just supposed to take it. Maybe you're just supposed to fix it.
Look at these cards. Rice, Sanders, Lot, Moon. Childish things. What?
For the record, can I just say I defended you when my wife told me not to work with you? She thought it was a mistake. I told her off, and you don't know how difficult that is to do, but I did it because... What is that?
She wrote a note.
Who?
Sylvia.
His ex-wife?
It says thank you.
Thank you.
That's what it says.
You got consent?
I guess I did.
We got Ronnie Green.
I guess we did.
Good work. I'll go tell Frank.
No, I'll tell him. It's my job.
No, Charlie's at a birthday party until 3. I'm here until noon or so, but feel free to stop by. No, they do dry cleaning in the building. Just give it to the doorman and he'll take care of it. No, it's included. I know. Everything is included. That's why I chose it. Yeah, just talk to the doorman. No, I don't know his name. Does it matter? He'll have a name tag. Okay, bye.
Who's that?
Lauren. She's going to mooch some free dry cleaning from my building under my name.
You don't know your doorman's name?
There's more than one. I'm still moving in. I don't know their schedules.
What's your rent?
I'm not telling. My finances are my own.
Makes me sad to hear you talk like that.
Why?
Makes you sound so old.
I am old, Dad. I've been old for a while.
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
Makes me sad. Time.
Yes, Daddy, time. It happens. Hand me the packing tape. Seal this puppy up. Movers will be here by noon.
Just makes me feel like I missed something.
You say that every time I go away. You feel sad for about 10 minutes, then there's a game on. I'll be 30 minutes away.
And a luxury building.
Please, like this isn't luxury.
This is home.
You can have more than one home.
Are you sure? Remember to mark as you go. If you don't mark your boxes as you go, everything gets misplaced. Won't be able to find your silverware.
I know.
You made that mistake in Cincinnati.
Well, I've learned a few things since then.
That's comforting. You sure you're not taking anything of mine?
I'm sure.
Good, because I finally got everything I need. Took a long time, but now I got it. Don't mind a house of myself. And no, I don't need any help with it. Thank you very much. I don't need some kind of, whatever you call it, nurse.
I was just talking about groceries. Cooking. Like, little things you've never had to do. It's been a while since you've been on your own.
Same could be said of you.
I have Charlie. You have videos of yourself playing a game from 30 years ago.
Your point.
What do you do when the video ends?
It goes static. Then I rewind. That's part of the allure of entertainment. I get to do things I can't do in life, like go back in the thick of it.
I'm just saying there's a world out there.
I go places, I still get recognized.
I know. But what do you recognize?
I recognize those candlesticks.
They're mine.
They were Mom's. Before. I know they're yours. Take them. God, you have a lot of stuff.
Things accumulate.
They do.
And I never throw anything away.
No, you don't.
Wonder where I get it from.
Family of pack rats. Speaking of which, before we depart, I have something of my own to pack for your little rat. Catch!
Oh, God!
It's for Charlie.
Dad.
I know what you're thinking, but it's not just any football.
I know what it is.
It's a game ball, 1984.
Cowboys-Eagles, Week 16 at Dallas. You intercepted this very ball and ran it in for a touchdown.
The winning touchdown.
I know.
What was the score?
17-14 Eagles.
Good. You remember.
I was there.
You were 6.
I was still there. We went to Shoney's after.
You love Shoney's.
No, you love Shoney's.
You like to color on the menus. I ran in the end zone, took a knee, gave the ball to the ref gave the ball to coach gave it to me. I jumped in the stands and gave it to you.
Mm-hmm. And you took it back when we got to the hotel.
But today, I give it back to you so that you can give it to Charlie. Carry the torch.
He won't know what to do with it.
But you will. It's in your blood. You married a Green, but your blood is Troy. It's football blood. When I handed that ball to you when you were 6, you knew what it meant. You knew it meant winning. And so will Charlie. Now, get that ball to my grandson, and you tell him what I just told you.
That's a great pep talk, Dad. But in the real world, it doesn't make sense. There's more to life than winning.
Then why do they keep score?
Not everybody does.
Yes, they do. Everybody keeps score on everybody.
There's life. Life itself, life that isn't cut short.
Life ain't measured in years, it's measured in yards. Always been that way in this family. From my daddy to your daddy to his daddy.
Oh, my God. You put his picture up.
There you go.
You don't know how bad he wanted to be on the wall.
Yes, I do.
It bothered him so much that you wouldn't put him on your wall. That's messed up, Dad. You knew he wanted to be on there, and you wouldn't put him on.
I didn't do it for him. Charlie needs to know who his father was. When he asks, you can direct him to the Wall of Fame.
I'm so not going to do that.
It's a good picture.
That's messed up.
It's a tribute.
It's a game, Dad. And I can't play anymore.
He wanted to be on the wall. Now he's on the wall.
Well, now it doesn't matter if he's on the wall or not because he's fucking dead. I signed the consent form.
You did?
It was my decision.
Why don't you just stab me in the heart?
Shut up.
Stab me in the heart, not the back, the heart, so you can look me in the goddamn eye.
I want to know. I want others to know what really happened to him.
He died drinking antifreeze.
Only because his brain had been beaten beyond recognition?
You think football is evil? Look around. Football is what paid for this house and your education and the ring you wore and the shoes on your feet.
These shoes? These shoes, Daddy? Or these shoes? Or these?
What the hell?
You've given me 3 pairs of the same heels over the last 3 months. Now, maybe that's just because you love these shoes so much. But judging by the look on your face, I don't think that's the reason. I didn't want to say anything. I almost did, but I tried to think that it was just an accident, just a coincidence. But then I realized it's that you don't remember giving them to me. And that's when I signed and faxed the papers.
It's an honest mistake.
You don't remember giving them to me.
Look, there's a lot on my mind.
3 times? You put milk in a cabinet sometimes. Fresh milk.
I do not.
You do. I put it back in the fridge. You leave the cap off, I put it back on. I clean up after you. I do the grocery shopping so you don't buy 6 bags of marshmallows.
That's nothing. That means nothing.
I hope you're right. I hope you're just absent-minded. I hope you're just getting old. I hope Ronnie just suffered depression for some unexplained, unconnected reason. That hitting his head against the ground and against other helmets 10 or 20,000 times had nothing to do with his downward spiral. But I know it did. Yes, football paid for this house and my ring and all 3 pairs of these shoes. But now we have to pay for football. And you might say that the only thing you care about is winning, but what's the point of winning if you can't remember that you won? I can't take this ball. Charlie isn't going to play.
I'm insulted.
I don't care.
I'm not suffering. You're jumping to conclusions. We all make mistakes. If everyone who made mistakes had to have some kind of nurse, I don't need a nurse. I bought you the same shoes. Sorry. I can't keep track of a woman in her shoes. Just trying to be nice to you. Doesn't mean I'm sick. I'm fully functioning. Ask me anything.
What did I seal up in that box?
Oh, please.
What did I put in there? You just saw me do it. When did I get married? Do you remember?
Of course I do.
When did I get married? What was the date?
June 12th, 1999. 6/12/99.
Yes.
5 p.m., First Episcopal.
We danced to Unforgettable.
I remember. And you married Ronald Edward Green, 6th pick overall, Cincinnati Bengals. He wore number 36. Maybe I got mixed up on shoes. Maybe I'll leave the milk out. But I remember what's important. I have video.
Video? Of what?
The wedding, the draft, birthday parties, things I don't want to forget. That's what film is for.
I thought you only had game film. Highlights.
These are highlights. And if I ever don't remember, if I ever forget, just show me the videos. They're all here.
Dad.
You have to go, I know.
No, I don't have to go. I don't have to go.
You're going to lose your deposit?
I'd rather lose that than... I once thought that I had to leave and I left somebody and it kills me. And I don't have to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
This is different.
All the more reason to stay.
You got to do what you got to do.
I know. Let me make some calls.
You staying?
The movers can come tomorrow or Tuesday or never, but not today. Okay? I'm here today. I'm staying. It's Sunday.
Good. I've always lived for Sundays.
Boy, the first one like had 5 years. The pass is picked off.
Headstrong was written by Patrick Link and stars Ernie Hudson, Deidrie Henry, Scott Wolf, and Ntare Guma Mbaho Mwine. Additional voices, Ron Lipkin. Stage manager, Michael Ray. Associate producer, Mike Weiskopf. Editor, Wes Dewberry. Recording and mixing engineer, Mark Holden for the Invisible Studios, West Hollywood. Our director is Bart DeLorenzo. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theatre Works.